Hello, I am Dr. Amba of Sit Wellness, Sunrise Integrative Therapies. I'm a doctor of medical Qigong therapy from China, DMQ, and I am today going to be talking about the overview of conscious Qigong and how we can specifically use meditations and exercises to help the kidneys and release fear and loneliness and cultivate self-confidence, inner strength, and wisdom. So right now I'm just going to do an overview with some help of a PowerPoint that I created, and it is Conscious Qigong, Healthy Body, Mind, and Business. And it's focusing on the transitions from winter to spring in traditional Chinese medicine and the emotions and virtues related to these seasons and increasing your energy and focus. In ancient Chinese medicine, every season is a great opportunity to nurture the corresponding organs that relate to that specific season. And during that season, in turn, nurture the entire system, which is related to the specific organ as we understand it in traditional Chinese medicine. In winter, you may feel like hibernating, taking it easy. And it is said in traditional Chinese medicine that it is important to do less in winter months. So you are charging your batteries for the whole year. So we have more energy in storage. In winter, it's more powerful to release the emotions that are related to the kidneys and the acquired emotions, fear, and loneliness. And in the spring, it is more powerful to let go of the emotions that are related to the liver. And we often think of spring as spring cleaning. When you think of spring, you also think of flowers starting to bloom. And it's said that in traditional Chinese medicine that the liver organ helps us have a free flow of energy. And in spring, we're ready to go out, get out of the house, bike, run outside more, and we want to get out, but or we want to get out, but don't, and feel what? Especially right now during this time with the COVID-19 in 2020 spring, what we're dealing with. So what we feel more of is the emotions related to the liver: anger, frustration, impatience. Easier to get into arguments more than any other time is spring. People have relationships end or have breaks during the spring season more than any other time. What if I told you that each season you can be prone to more of these specific emotions that relate to that associated organ, like I just said? And if I told you that there are specific emotions that relate to even the transition between seasons? And every season change, we transition. And that transition between seasons is always related to the spleen. That's the time between seasons that in traditional Chinese medicine, things that are related are worry and overthinking. Spleen also relates to the immune system, so worry and overthinking slow down the immune system. And it is said in traditional Chinese medicine that you can have more healing power during these transitions between seasons. I went too fast. Okay, in this time, you can gain more focus and vitality by paying attention to your emotional state and letting go of the acquired emotions with grace and ease. And would you be interested in learning how? So if we were in a group of different groups of people, I would ask you, which emotions relate to you more? Fear and loneliness, which we're going to focus on later in this 90-minute webinar. Right now, we're going to take a 30-minute time period and take a break, or maybe 40 minutes, and then take a 20-minute and a break and a 20-minute and a break, because it's too long of a time to be sitting. And we're going to do some movement too. So which emotions do you relate to more? Fear, loneliness, worry, overthinking, or anger, frustration, impatience, or maybe all of the above? And how do they affect you in your personal life and in your business life? And how much energy do you have? And your ability to focus, do you feel these take away from that? So the virtues you were born with in the kidneys are self-confidence, inner strength, and wisdom. And in the spleen, trust, openness, and sincerity. And liver is compassion, kindness, and patience. And the winter transition into spring, kidney goes through spleen to liver. So every season change, we go through the spleen to the next one. And let me go back a page here and say, fear and loneliness relates to the kidneys. Worry, overthinking, that relates to the spleen. And anger, frustration, and impatience in Chinese medicine, that relates to the liver. But these are acquired emotions that you have when you're born into this world, that you have things that bring these up. And these positive virtues you're born with, we cultivate in Qigong, and we do practices to let go of the negative emotions. And that has a huge benefit to the organ system and everything to do with the organ systems in health in general. So you have a choice to cultivate the innate virtues and let go of the acquired emotions. And this brings higher levels of energy and more focus to personal and business life. Here are some friends of mine. We did a retreat on Dillon Beach here in California recently. Two of these lovely people, I know three of these people's businesses. This is a wonderful DJ in Santa Rosa. This is a wonderful isogenesis representative, Amy Burkett, and Cindy Cross of Body Mechanics Healing Center, who is an amazing massage therapist. These are all people who are also at my retreat that I gave recently, as well as people who are in the health industry. So if you're wanting to know anything about them here in Sonoma County, let me know and I will connect you to them. So the 5 yin organs, acquired emotions for all the 5 organs in Chinese medicine that are the solid organs, the 5 yin organs. The winter is related to kidney, fear, and loneliness. And spring, liver, is related to, and anger, frustration, and patience. Summer season is related to heart, anxiety, nervousness, expectations not met. That's the big one for summer and for the heart. Fall, the lung organ, related to sadness and grief. And between seasons, as I said, is spleen, which is worry and overthinking. And there are the elements as well. The 5 elements are water for kidney, wood for liver. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because through this whole talk, there's going to be a relationship thing with kidney and liver. Heart is fire, lung is metal, and spleen is earth. So earth is, I'll say it many times through the seminars and webinars I give, is that we are on earth. I'm gonna adjust this window really quick because I'm getting flash on my glasses. We're on earth, and we are the physical body on earth is the energy element, the energy or chi. The earth itself is the most material thing, and that is Jing. So there's Jing, Qi, Shen. So the heavens are Shen, we are the Qi, and the earth is the Jing, Qi, Shen. So the most material, the most energetic or emotional or energy between things, like electricity is energy. And then there's a heaven. And to ground, like a lightning rod, from lightning, you have a lightning rod going into the earth, right? So we're kind of like what that lightning rod is. We are connected to the heavens and connected to the earth with our physical bodies. but in a spiritual way, in a way that when we're born, we are the energy that connects heaven and earth. We are that which can manifest anything if we know the way to do it and if we're conscious of it. So this all is about conscious Qigong. So my website is sitwellness.com. My email, if you would like to email me, is sitwellness@gmail.com. And my phone number for making appointments or reaching me is 707-665-5341. I am also on Facebook. You can find me at, if you search, it's actually facebook.com/Chi Gong. There's no G on the end. It's Qigon medicine. So not Qigong medicine, Chi Gong medicine. And I'll have more information about connecting with me. The Facebook group I do have is for people who are working with me to get free meditations, to get information on exercises and things that we're doing regularly in different seasons. So I can let you know about that as well. So I want to move on to talking a little bit more about the kidney. And the acquired emotion, as I said, is fear and loneliness, especially in these times of great stress. And just to really quick move our bodies. I want to move so we aren't sitting too long and taking in too much information that can't be absorbed, okay? So if you're able to stand where you are, go ahead. And I'm going to make some space here. And what we're going to do right now is something called Old Man and Typhoon. So this old man is searching for pearls in the tide pool, okay? So he's alternating his hands, okay? So what we're going to do is inhale our arms out and exhale, folding forward and alternating the hands in front of the feet. I'm going to put this down a little bit lower. So inhaling arms out and looking, making the sound. Relaxing the head. When you're out of breath, you bend your knees and roll one vertebra up at a time until you're standing straight. And your arms are going to rise up above you like you're holding sparrows in your hand. And your elbows are a little bit in, not too far in. They're not all the way out, but they're kind of in. And as you rise your arms up, holding these sparrows, a deep breath in, and then making the sound, ah. Bringing your hands about to the shoulders, kidney 1, 2 area. And you're holding the hands like fists sideways, gentle fists. And then turning the hands and bringing them down and in. And you bend your knees a little further and make the whoa, like whoa, horsey, whoa sound. And the movement on this part is you're folding forward for the inhale, relaxing the head, bending the knees, rolling up one vertebra at a time, hands face down, and then they face up, inhaling, and then ah, whoa. And notice how at the beginning I come up, my legs are straight, holding these sparrows, and then as I get here, my knees are bending, and I'm a little bit rounding my back. And then as I bring my hands in, I'm rounding my back further. Okay? So inhale, the whole part is 1, shh, and then 3, ah, whoa. 3 ha whoas. Okay, inhaling. I'm bending the knees, rolling up one vertebra at a time, inhaling. Ah, whoa. Ah, whoa. And you really want to bend your knees and feel yourself sitting. Ah, whoa. Each time you straighten them as you come up. Ah, whoa. And I said before, I haven't said in this practice yet, but we're always imagining and intending and focusing our energy. So intention, attention, imagination, sensation. Those are 4 keys. The 5th key is consistency and discipline. But for now, we take our 2 fingers, the sword fingers, and make a big circle clockwise in front of us if we live above the equator. If we live below the equator, it's counterclockwise. But a big circle, and then it gets smaller, smaller, and smaller. We're making a vortex for all the toxic chi, all the heavy emotions to go into the earth to be transmuted and recycled by the earth. And this is emotions, in this case, we're letting go of our sadness and grief from that movement, from the lungs, and that ha is letting go of anxiety, nervousness, expectations not met from the heart, and it's letting go of, from the liver, anger, frustration, impatience, and from the spleen, letting go of any worry or overthinking. This is a lot to think about. I can give you more details later. This is called Old Man and Typhoon. So the story is the old man's looking for a pearl, and he sees a reflection in this pool. And he thinks, oh my gosh, I have this huge pearl. I'm going to be rich. And he's looking for it. And then he realizes, oh, that's the reflection of the moon. And what a beautiful moon it is. It's gorgeous. I'm disappointed I'm not rich. Whoa, shit. Okay, pardon my French. So that's the story of Old Man and Typhoon. So let's try doing that. We're gonna, again, release from the lungs when we're down there, letting go of sadness and grief into the earth, and then letting go of any anxiety, nervousness, expectations not met from the heart, okay? And letting go of anger, frustration, impatience from the liver, worry and overthinking from the spleen. I know that's a lot to take in at this moment, but just let it be music in your mind and absorb it later. This is a very important exercise that you never want to do more than 2 weeks, okay? This is a contraindication for this exercise. Never do it every single day for more than 2 weeks. I will tell you later, but this is the main thing. Do it when you're feeling transitions. This is the best exercise during the seasonal transitions. Right now, it's a good time because of the coronavirus, because we're having shifts and doing transitions of things we're not used to, being at home. Right now, we're more than 2 weeks, so don't do it every day. But as things are really coming up for you on those days, you can do this exercise. It's a great everything exercise. So again, inhaling the arms out, exhaling, diving forward. Inhaling, arms up, straight legs, and then bending the knees, whoa, rounding that back as you sink further. Inhaling, whoa. One more time. Whoa. Again, inhaling. Relaxing that face and jaw. Relax the head. Bend the knees, rolling up one vertebra at a time. Whoa. Again. Whoa. One more time. Whoa. And we're going to do this exercise one more time. Inhaling, arms out. Dive forward. Alternating the hands. Letting go of grief and sadness. Inhaling, arms up. Letting go of anxiety, nervousness, expectations not met with that ha sound. Inhale. Now with the whoa sound, we're going to let go of anger, frustration, impatience. Let go of worry and overthinking. Whoa. Inhaling up. Whoa. One more time. Whoa. One more time. Whoa. And then, like a snow shaker that's been shaken, allow the energy to settle in the lower dantian. And we're just going to take 3 inhales called pulling down the heavens, bringing the arms out and up And with a ha sound, imagine the energy showering down the front of your body. Ah, the hands slightly face towards the body, pulling the energy down, and then shake it off into that vortex. Same movement, same breath, but intention is on the back of the body, pulling down heavens, washing everything down. Ah, down the back of the body. Now the center of the body is the intention. Inhaling. Ah, allowing everything to go into the earth. Shake it off. Okay, we're just doing that briefly just to get some movement, and later in other webinars and on my Facebook page, Conscious Chi Gong, Dr. Amba's Conscious Chi Gong Facebook group, which you can only get in with a password or permission through me. So I'll let you in if you're serious about your health and wealth and happiness. So what I would like to go through with you right now is more information about the kidneys. And the acquired emotion, like I said, is fear and loneliness. Now, when we do that exercise just now, we hit 4 of the 5 yin organs. We didn't hit the kidney. And in general, we will not do any reducing. Like that is a reducing exercise. That is a sort of a purging, removing when there's something or too much of something. Kidneys are generally deficient, or there's not enough of something. And the kidneys also very rarely have excess, like the other organs can have excess of, or too much of something. And so we'll only do an exercise of letting go of fear and loneliness, which we'll do later in the second third of this webinar. We only let go when we're also cultivating and tonifying. Tonifying is adding to where there's not enough, okay? When you go to an acupuncturist or come see me for medical Qigong therapy, we are usually doing a intention of adding to when there's a deficiency, or reducing or purging when there's too much of something to bring about balance. We also do things to regulate, to make it balance after we have done the pulling away of too much of something, or adding to when there's not enough of something. So with the kidney, it's a very special organ because we don't want to take away anything unless we're very careful about how we're taking away, so that we're adding to at the same time. Does that make sense? Hopefully. So like I said, the kidney and the acquired emotions are fear and loneliness. Sometimes it can be jealousy and envy, but for this purpose, I'm going to focus on fear and loneliness. And in right now, like great times of stress with the COVID-19. And we may find that we're leaving our comfort zone when we allow ourselves to be in that vulnerable state when talking or writing or even thinking about our feelings of fear and loneliness. The practices of conscious Qigong start with intending a white protective light all around ourselves and our loved ones, in our homes and wherever we go, traveling with us like a real protective bubble that guides us, guards us, and protects us from anything that is not part of our highest good. Now, many people do not know what this term highest good means, and it means generally to be aligned with your eternal soul or your development or evolution as close as possible to being of most service to yourself and others, and being happy and healthy as possible. The divine, whatever you call that, God, Jesus, Guan Yin, Shiva, whatever you call the divine, spirit, source, whatever you call, and wants us to be happy, wants us to be thriving and helping ourselves and helping others. That in my clients that come in that have depression or PTSD, often part of the homework is to volunteer or help someone else. When we help others, that helps us. There's something my daughter says all the time, which I taught her when she was younger, is I am you, you are me. We're family, everybody. It's hard to say that sometimes about certain people that don't have the same beliefs as we do or the same political views. But in the end of the day, we are all connected. We are all each other, you know? Okay, I'm going to give everybody $1 for every time I say, okay? Maybe a penny or I'll be broke. Going back into here, okay, yes, the highest path, highest good. Someone once said you have to suffer to learn anything valuable. That's a lie. You can learn that way, but it doesn't have to be that way. You can learn without suffering. And because free will is sacred, you can declare that you don't have to suffer for valuable lessons, to learn valuable lessons, okay? I had a teacher, Mahasuvana, who said, who says you have to suffer to learn anything? Who says? I'm not going to go into it. Okay, I'm going to go into it. I think a man made that up. God bless men. Trying to keep the women down. No, I'm told there are some good men out there. If you find one, I'm just kidding. Okay, having too much fun now. Okay, knowing that you're in a safe place at all times, okay? Knowing that you are, seriously, in a safe place at all times, guided and guarded and protected by your highest good at all times, you can let go and feel whatever feelings are coming up at any given time and honor them and feel those emotions. I'm not asking people to not feel their feelings because that's not good for you. Stuffing your emotions causes cancer, okay? Let's let them out in a healthy way. Okay, art therapy. I know a great art therapist, Christy Karate, Mastering the Art of Life. If anybody wants to check her out, she's doing some virtual things. Music therapy, Chi Gong, for example. Yeah, you want to express them in a healthy way. Have a good therapist, journaling with a wooden pencil and yellow paper. I'll talk about that later. Okay, so honoring and feeling your feelings, those emotions of fear and loneliness fully, and let them go by transmuting or changing them into the virtues that correspond to that yin organ related to them, which is, in this case, kidneys, okay? The virtues, self-confidence, inner strength, and wisdom. The relationship in the 5-element theory is water element, and the season is winter. The yang organ associated is the urinary bladder. Now, when I say acquired emotion, I'm talking about fear and loneliness for this organ, and virtues are what you're born with. So we came into this world with these virtues. We're polishing them up, we're charging them up. So this is going to be a common thing I talk about in conscious Qigong, okay? So other things that are related to the kidneys, the bones, brain, marrow, ears. I talk about this later. I'm going to talk about massaging your ears. Your knees are also related to the kidneys in traditional Chinese medicine. Sometimes you won't believe your eyes with what you're seeing sometimes, and that's more liver. And sometimes you're being told what you don't want to hear. And over, that is related to the kidneys, okay? And there's a difference between being shown a path and being told that is the way you need to go. Okay, I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Just let that be music in the back for your brain, and later we're going to bring that up again. If you're listening to your inner wisdom and truly following this, you are going to have strong focus in what you do, okay? I'm going to bring this up later too. Intention comes from the heart. Attention, focus comes from the kidneys. Liver, imagination, lungs, sensation. And those are 4 keys to conscious Qigong with every practice we do, okay? So let's focus here. Focus, kidneys. So if you're listening to your inner wisdom and truly following this, you're going to have a strong focus in what you do. If you're easily distracted and hearing a part of yourself saying that you're not good enough to do something, then your kidneys will easily be given to fear. And if you care very much what others think about you, more so than what you feel for yourself, you'll feel loneliness. Okay, these are kidney related things, okay? Gallbladder is the yang organ related to the liver, and usually the inability to make decisions is related to gallbladder. When you're on the fence about something and you go back and forth. And it is our self-confidence, if it's weak, we also do not have confidence in our choices. And that can make us tired and affect our sleep. Often having low energy and being tired is related to the kidneys. And the kidney is the mother to the child liver in the 5-element theory. And the liver can be like a toddler demanding attention and misbehaving, even to get negative attention. If you're a parent, you might know what this is like. This, and this is true too, this can drain the energy from the kidney. And like a bully stealing the lunch money from a weaker child, the liver can become overbearing to the kidney and make it more fearful. So you have this whole mother-child thing, the mother taking care of the liver, but when the child isn't getting enough attention, the liver, which is responsible for the free flow of chi, it has a tantrum. And then what does a mother do when our kids have a tantrum? Ideally, we can be patient and calm with the child. Patience, by the way, is for liver. And we can relate to them and help them meet their needs. Well, if a mother is exhausted and tired, guess what? We're not going to be really able to react too well with that child. And we're to have our energy drained. And this is one of the reasons that the kidney is deficient and doesn't have a lot of energy, and doesn't have a lot of chi, or what it needs for a healthy, balanced kidney. So all of these examples and more can influence kidneys and put them in right position to be more fearful and lonely. And in turn, more tired, or having issues focusing, or have bone or knee issues. Also sexual dysfunction or sleep problems that make kidneys more out of balance, or that is a result, okay? What the focus of this webinar is about is to build self-confidence, inner strength, and wisdom, and get better and deeper sleep each night, and reduce the fear and loneliness that we are having right now in this time, and can be all the time for some people, or in waves it comes, you know, and that's normal. It's when it gets too far out of balance that we really want to balance it, okay? Many other reasons and complications that affect kidneys we will leave for another time. One thing I want to mention is that in young childhood, needs that were not met, or if there was abandonment, rejection, or betrayal during a young age, and this can be true of all the life, but specifically in the younger age, that this can also affect the kidneys, but it can be changed with conscious Qigong. It can be changed with regular acupuncture, or regular, you know, getting good sleep, building your self-confidence, you know, a lot of things I'm going to talk about here. The conscious Qigong is using, like I said, the 5 keys, or 4 keys, and I'm adding one. Intention from the heart, attention from the kidneys, imagination from the liver, and sensation from the lungs. And I'm going to say the earth, consistency, and discipline, okay, or spleen. So intention, attention, imagination, sensation, and consistency and discipline. This is the key for manifesting anything, okay? If you want to manifest something, you want to bring it about in your life, in your work, in your business, these are the keys. This is magic 101, okay? But it's prayer. It's connecting to the divine with your free will. Free will is sacred. If you declare it and you believe it and you practice this intention, attention, imagination, sensation, and discipline, you can bring about anything in your life. So we're focusing right now on bringing in self-confidence, inner strength, and wisdom, and letting go of fear and loneliness, okay? That other exercise we did, Old Man and Typhoon, is clearing out other things and making room for us to do this, okay? If you have problems focusing, then look into the kidneys. With the 5 keys, intent, focus, imagine, imagery, sensation, and our discipline can make the exercises and meditations more powerful and effective. When I teach children to blow on their hands and feel cold air, you can do it right now, right? You can blow cold air and feel it on your hand. It's cold, okay? And then I don't have to tell them how to do it, but then I ask them to imagine and blow hot air. You make a different sound maybe. Okay, that's hot air. This is your mind consciously making an effect to the physical world, and it's going from one form to another, and it's conscious. This is like the most easy way to explain conscious Qigong, to explain Qigong in general, how, and meditation, how your brain regularly regulates things in your body. You're putting the intention in your brain to do something that's creating an effect on the physical tissues, on the physical heat or cold. And some things can be that with visualization, guided imagery meditations, or those imagery while we do movement or breath for the Qigong movement part. So just know that, you know, where the mind goes, the Qi flows, and where the Qi goes, the intention, everything, the blood flows, the whatever you want, you put your intention on it. That whole secret thing, the whole like attracts like, you know, focus on what you are grateful for, feel it, be happy. You will attract more to be happy about. You will attract more to be grateful for. Complain about things, you'll have more to complain about. Feel bad, you will feel more bad. So we try to feel the feelings, honor them, but transmute them, move them in alchemy, change something into something else. Okay, this is the law of physics. Okay, you can't just get rid of stuff. You have to change it into something else, or move it somewhere else. We're moving it into the earth for some of them, and sometimes we're transmuting them right into their virtues. Okay, but it's important to feel it. And I say for about consciousness and being conscious about things. I once wrote a song for children, for adults too. Drive your own brain bus. I shall sing it for you. Be the master of your consciousness. Drive your own brain bus. Be the master of your consciousness. Okay, really, don't let things on TV pull your consciousness away. Don't let like random thoughts come into your mind. Focus your intention. Say, this is what I'm going to think about. You know, this is my free will to think about this. If you're just randomly searching a TV and changing channels, you're, you know, if you go into a bar and drink, you know why they call it spirits, right? I won't go there. Anyway, you're choose what you think, okay? This is all about conscious Qigong. And because you're not consciously choosing to think about something or someone, or someone else is choosing for you or something. So did you know that most of our thoughts are recycled thoughts? That's a pretty powerful thing to think about right there. Overthinking is related to spleen, as I said before, or worry. And that's the earth element. With conscious Qigong, we're choosing what breath's intention is. With conscious Qigong, we are choosing what the breaths, with the breaths, I wanted to say, with the breaths, what our intentions are. So sometimes we're going to intend on the inhale, bringing in self-confidence, inner strength, and wisdom into our kidneys, and exhale in a gray smoke, letting go of fear and loneliness, for example. Okay, we're putting that on. We're putting to task every inhale and exhale. Because our brain follows our orders, we are causing emotional and cellular chain reactions in our bodies. These emotions can cause damage to the physical tissues over time, if not expressed in healthy ways, which I mentioned before. Transmuting them into the virtues, or sort of recharging the virtues that we were born with, helps bring better health to our physical body and all their systems. And it just so happens that our emotions and it just so happens to be that our emotions and virtues are affecting our health and well-being more than most people realize. Okay, we're gonna do some movement in a second before we take a break for the restroom. Urinary bladder, what is it? The yang organ to the kidneys, what we're talking about. Okay, many Western doctors have acknowledged that stress is bad for us. When we are in the fight or flight mode of the autonomic nervous system, we cannot use the relaxation and rest mode of the ANS, which is the autonomic nervous system. So in your central nervous system, part of that goes into this branch, which is the autonomic nervous system. One part of it is the sympathetic, which is fight or flight. I got to get away. This is stressful. I got to get away. I got to lift a car off my baby. I have to run from a tiger. That stress, even if you're in the line and you're frustrated, is the same stress on your body as if you are running from a lion. Okay, that's fight or flight. And then there's the relaxation, rest and digest, the parasympathetic system. And we want to balance those. It's good to have stress. You have to be able to run from a lion, but we don't want to have it all the time and overbalance it. We need to relax so we can rest and digest, okay? So our adrenals, if our adrenals are taxed, the energy that would be used for homeostasis doesn't have enough to keep us healthy because the energy is being diverted away. And it makes it harder to stay healthy when we're worried or fearful or angry or sad or nervous. And this is the big thing, is that the adrenals, that stress hormone cortisol, which I'm about to talk about, it's sending all the energy to run away. And what energy would be normally going to all the organs to be relaxed, to be taking care of itself, it can't do it because it's so stressed, okay? There's only this amount of energy and it's getting all diverted to the emergency. It's not getting, everybody's not getting an equal share in the organ system, okay? But when we are trusting or self-confident or compassionate or courageous or joyful, then our bodies can heal themselves much easier with the available energy we have that's not being diverted to the adrenals and the stress hormone cortisol. We have a choice, okay? And right now I have a choice to stand up, okay? I'm gonna stand up again and show you one of the Taoist 5 exercises, okay? This is for the kidneys. Spread your legs out as far as comfortable and bend your knees, okay? When we're having the feet a bit forward facing and we have a nice comfortable stance, we're gonna take the left or right hand and the back of it and bring it around to the back kidney and bend that knee and look at the back of your hand and inhale across, the knees are bent, and bend that other knee, and then sit down like you're sitting down and scoop that hand into the water and allow it to, the water travels down around the shoulders into that kidney, okay? Inhaling across, bringing in self-confidence, inner strength, and wisdom, and scoop the water element. Okay, inhaling self-confidence, inner strength, and wisdom. Scoop that blue-colored water. Exhale, absorb self-confidence, inner strength, and wisdom. Inhale. Exhale, scooping that water into the kidneys. Inhale. Exhale, bringing that blue color, self-confidence, inner strength, and wisdom into the kidney. One more time, inhale, and scoop the water. When you get here, go ahead and switch hands and come to the knee on the other side. This hand, the back of it goes around the back. You're looking at the back of the hand, inhale across, looking at the back of the hand, scooping that water, sitting down, trying to keep the chest up, scooping that water. Inhale across and scoop the water again, filling the kidneys with what? Self-confidence, inner strength, and wisdom. Now, we haven't released any fear and loneliness yet, but that's going to come up in the next segment, okay? Inhaling, scooping, inhaling, exhaling, like you're dipping into the water. Inhale, self-confidence, inner strength, and wisdom. One last time. Scooping that water that's going to flow down and back into the kidney, okay? This is tonifying the kidneys. Just wrap your hands around slowly. Heel toe your feet together, okay? Maybe a little massage on your kidneys. Sorry, my Tarzan's coming out, okay. And just rub your kidneys a little, send some love to your kidneys, okay? There's just a little bit more in this segment, and we're almost done, okay, with this segment. So we have a choice, starting with the kidney and fear and loneliness. We're going to do 2 exercises and meditations that can help with fear and loneliness at the same time. We are going to take away some of that burden that's wearing down the energy levels by crossed boundaries we may have not healed from in our lives. Okay, so we're going to be talking about that in the next segment. And finally, we're going to do a meditation to bring in, oh, we're not going to finally, we're going to do that now. We're going to do a meditation. I added one thing, so I'm off now. Okay, and finally, we're going to do a meditation, or actually right now, of good communication from the heart to the kidneys and back, and thus creating healthier bones and brain functions. Many great benefits to the kidney and heart during stressful times to keep our intention and attention always at their peak performance, okay? This exercise is basically laid out on my website, thesitwellness.com, at the bottom of the homepage. It's called Con Lee, okay? We will end with this exercise. During this whole 90-minute thing, we're going to end with the exercise that's going to help you get deep and peaceful sleep every night. And if you do have high blood pressure, there's also a heart Qigong exercise that's really simple. In fact, we did part of it already, that will relax us and lower our blood pressure. The contraindication is that if you have low blood pressure, your doctor has said you have a serious low blood pressure problem, you don't do this, or you do it a few times, you don't do it over and over again, because it will lower your blood pressure. And I'll just tell you right now, you can do it when you're driving, you can do it anytime without the movements, but it's that pulling down the heavens, that movement of inhaling your arms up and pulling your arms down across your body. You don't have to do that part, but you can. You can just sit while you're driving if you're getting upset, or if you're with your kids or your family and you're stressed, to let go of that anxiety, nervousness, expectations not met. What's another word for that? Disappointment. When you're disappointed, your expectations aren't met. You have disappointment. You can let go of that from your heart. You can even pull it as you're doing that ah sound, H-A-A-A-A, okay? Ah, relax your face and jaw, relax your shoulders. Just pull with me, okay? And grab any anxiety, any nervousness, any expectations not met. Ah, drop it into that vortex, okay? Ah, really relax your shoulders. Be like a loose noodle, okay, on every exhale. Ah, relax. Ah, one more time. Relax. Ah. Like a snow shaker that's been shaken, allow the energy to settle in the lower dantian. This exercise is one of the most amazing ones because you can do it at any time that you're any of these emotions, really, just to relax your body. And before you're going to do any Qigong meditations or exercises, it's ideal to do this because it does relax your physical structure. And with Qigong, you don't want to be tense and tight while you're moving and breathing. You want to be relaxed so the energy can flow really easily, okay? So bada boom, bada bing, there was your ha, okay? Your heart exercise. And like I said, if you have high blood pressure, you can do this and it will lower your blood pressure. I've had clients go off their medication after talking to their doctors, never without talking to their doctors, but it happens. they're allowed to go off their medication because they do it all the time and their blood pressure lowers. Okay, the contraindications that you want to watch out for is if you do have low blood pressure is don't do it for very long, just a minute, at the most. If you have a doctor's diagnosis of low blood pressure, that is, okay? And you can also do it just breathing and not the sound part, and relax the body, okay? And when you're around people, you can do it silently all the time. They don't know what you're doing. And just do the relaxing, but you're just letting your ears stop having earrings, okay? Shoulders don't have to be earrings. Okay, that's another song. All right. Shoulders don't have to be earrings. I can hear it now. Okay. As a forward, I'd like to say that often we make sounds to reduce too much of something, or like I was saying, purge. And we use color to add or tonify when there is not enough of something. And it can be that we do both sounds together to regulate with sound and color, making things balanced. And we will get into that as we do various meditations and exercises, and we got into it a little bit. The main thing is that we always have the intention that we are guided and guarded and protected by our highest good. And whatever spiritual practice that you have, or whatever names you call your higher power, or divine, or source, or universe, which I mentioned before, that you are safe. And our intention and our attention is to bring about the best and most healthy results in whatever we are doing in conscious Qigong. And it's mind over matter, and mind connected with spiritual beings of light, or divine light, for whatever you trust in or believe in, okay? And take what works for you and leave the rest, okay? And if you do not have a spiritual practice, this work can be very strong work, even if you don't have a sacred name that means something to you. I often say beings of light, or Jesus, or Shiva, or Amitabha are three pure ones, because my path is Christian, it's Hindu, it's Buddhist, and it's Taoist, because that's what I've studied. And I'm open to anything that's about compassion and helping people, okay? But I was raised Lutheran in Iowa, and I have a very strong connection to Jesus, and that doesn't work for many people. And there are energetic charges for some people with certain sacred names. I intend to be honest to my practice, and my ways of seeing my spiritual path may be completely different than yours, and that is perfectly fine. I will also mention certain practices that may involve 4 directions, or 4 spirit animals, or 4 archangels, or 5 pure lights, or many things that I may not explain at a given time, but I may explain them in all of my webinars. But this particular one, it's just a short 90-minute one. And as with all teaching, take what works for you and leave the rest. Put your own spiritual spin on it, and just trust that the movements and the breathing styles and visualizations are connected with nature and are effective and powerful. Just trust that they're working, okay? And the connection with the nature is a big part of it, because in Taoism, nature has the connection to what's tonifying us with the colors and the visualizations, the water element, the wood element. I use pine trees a lot in my visualizations, okay? And you can change things to make them work better for you, okay? So I have a meditation that's going to come up in the next part. And I'm going to go through it. I almost wish I could share the screen with you for this one. Should I or shouldn't I? I'm running out of time, so maybe I will add it on to the end. I'm just going to explain it to you right now, okay? This is called Kan Li. It's a meditation that helps create stronger bone density, and it can help people a lot with focus and to pay better attention. Meditation has many wonderful purposes and reasons to practice. If a person has bipolar disorder, depression, PTSD, any mental health issue, this is really good exercise. Or if they have just had surgery on a broken bone or a spine or hip or ear or hearing thing, memory problems, then it's a must, okay? People with dementia should be practicing this every day. So what you're doing is thinking about the fire of the heart descending and the water of the kidneys ascending, coming up. And they meet in the middle here, okay? Back up a little. Rug on my carpet, whatever is catching. Okay, so you're imagining the fire descending and the water ascending, and they meet in the middle, and then as they meet in the middle, they create a divine mist, this heat of the fire and the water of the kidneys. And as you exhale, this divine mist goes to all the bones in the brain, okay? And it's nurturing the bones in the brain and the sea of marrow. So inhale fire and water together. They meet in the solar plexus area or the lower middle abdomen. Exhale, the divine mist nurtures the bones in the brain. So fire descends, water ascends from the kidneys. They meet in the middle, they create a divine mist. And they just mist, so you imagine that mist, and you can alternate hands. You don't even have to use hands. But when I do pigeon pose in yoga, I do this a lot for my hips. Okay, inhaling fire and water together. Exhale, that divine mist nurtures and feeds that bone and brain. Okay, any broken bones or sore hips or whatever, you can focus on those, all right? Inhaling fire and water together. Exhale, a divine mist nurtures the bones and the brain, the connection to the kidneys, the communication between kidneys and heart. Inhaling the fire and water come together. Exhale, that divine mist. You can imagine your bones like a skeleton that's glow in the dark. They just brighten up like a glow in the dark skeleton. Inhale, fire and water together. Exhale. Lips are closed. That divine mist goes all over the bones and the brain, the sea of marrow. Inhale, fire and water together. Exhale, divine mist nurtures bones, brain. One more time. Inhale, fire and water together. Exhale, the divine mist. See all the bones brightening, the brain brightening, white, blue. I always think of an electric blue color. Okay, that was a quick version of that. Like I said, it's on my website, sitwellness.com, at the bottom of the page. Just to mention a couple more things about this, that it strengthens memory. It stops or helps with osteoporosis, helps the bones heal faster, creates more bone density. That's the big one that I wanted to say. And it creates more marrow and increases T cell numbers. Hello, if you have cancer, this is a really good one too, because you want to have those T cells and the fighter cells to fight more. Also helps focus, stops foggy mind, okay? And it stabilizes moods. So it puts you on the middle path if you're bipolar, if you're PTSD, if you're anxiety-full too. It like puts you in the center, okay? So that's also memory, big thing, hip or back pain, mental health issues, I said before. Bunch of good stuff. This is a kidney exercise that is just awesome, okay? Kidney and heart exercise. Okay, it is the end of the first part of this webinar. The next two will be at my house because I have to go help with my grandchild. Okay, I keep getting text messages from my daughter. Okay, God bless everybody. Divine. We're taking a 5-minute break, go pee, do whatever you need to. And we're gonna have 2 shorter parts of this webinar to come. Okay, thank you. This is Dr. Amba.